For decades, the debate has raged. The M4 Sherman, symbol of Allied industrial might, against the fearsome Tiger I, the apex predator of the German war machine. History books, documentaries, and even video games have painted a picture. The Tiger, a near-invincible beast, picking off Shermans with contemptuous ease. But what if that narrative misses the true measure of victory? What if the real story isn't about individual duels, but about a hidden stat that proves America won the tank war? Today we're tearing down the myths and unearthing the cold, hard facts. This isn't just about firepower or armor. This is about the unforgiving realities of total war and how one tank, despite its perceived shortcomings, became the spearhead of Allied victory. Let's start with the big guns. The Tiger I was armed with the legendary 8.8 centimeter KWK 36L/56. According to post-war ordnance trials, this weapon could penetrate approximately 100 millimeters of vertical armor at 1,000 meters using PESA-GR 39 AP rounds. That was more than enough to punch through the frontal armor of early M4 Shermans at considerable range. The M4 Sherman initially carried the 75mm M3 gun. While effective against most German tanks like the Panzer IV, it struggled against the Tiger's thick hide. However, the Sherman evolved. The M4 A3E8, EZ8, and other later variants mounted the high-velocity 76mm M1 gun, which with HVAP, high-velocity armor-piercing rounds, could penetrate roughly 120 to 150 millimeters of vertical armor at 1,000 meters. This significantly closed the gap, as documented by U.S. Army ordnance tests in 1944 to 45. And let's not forget the 105mm howitzer-armed Shermans designed for infantry support, but capable of devastating HE, high explosive, barrages against soft targets and fortifications. The Tiger I was a fortress on tracks. Its frontal hull armor was a formidable 100mm thick, with 80mm on the sides and rear. Crucially, it was mostly flat, relying on sheer thickness. This made it incredibly difficult to penetrate from the front for almost any Allied tank gun until very close ranges. The Bovington Tank Museum's analysis of captured Tigers consistently highlights the impressive integrity of its armor plating. The M4 Sherman's armor varied by variant, typically ranging from 50mm to 75mm on the front hull, but critically, it was often sloped. Sloping increases the effective thickness against incoming fire and can cause shells to ricochet. While the Sherman's armor was generally thinner, its design principles offered better protection than raw numbers might suggest, especially against angled shots. Furthermore, applique armor and sandbagging were common field modifications, though their effectiveness remains debated by historians like Stephen Zaloga. In a head-on duel, the Tiger held a clear advantage in pure protection, but warfare is rarely fair head-on. This is where the narrative begins to shift. The Tiger, weighing in at 56 metric tons, was a marvel of engineering, but also a mechanical nightmare. Its complex interleaved road wheels and sophisticated transmission, while providing excellent cross-country performance when working, were prone to breakdowns. According to German operational reports, Tigers frequently broke down or became bogged down, requiring extensive recovery and maintenance. Fuel consumption was astronomical, a critical weakness for an oil-starved Germany. The M4 Sherman, at around 30 to 33 tons, was built for a different kind of war. It was designed for mass production, ease of maintenance, and rugged reliability. Its top speed was comparable to the Tiger on road, around 25 to 30 miles per hour, but its lighter weight and simpler suspension made it far more agile and less prone to mechanical failure. A Sherman could be repaired with common tools by its crew, often in minutes. Its radial aircraft engine, while a target for detractors, was powerful and surprisingly robust, capable of taking damage and still running. Reliability and ease of maintenance are not glamorous stats, but in the relentless grind of combat, they are absolutely vital. A tank in the repair depot can't fight, no matter how powerful its gun or how thick its armor. This is the hidden stat. This is the truth that often gets lost in the glorification of individual tank duels. Germany produced just 1,347 Tiger I tanks between 1942 and 1944. A formidable number for such a complex machine, but a drop in the ocean of total war. The United States, by contrast, produced over 49,000 M4 Sherman tanks across all variants. That's not a typo. 49,000. This isn't just a number. It represents an entirely different approach to warfare. America could afford to lose Shermans and replace them almost immediately. Allied commanders could and did employ Shermans in overwhelming numbers, a tactic effectively utilized in operations like Cobra, where massed armor punched through German lines. The sheer volume of Shermans meant they were everywhere. They were reliable workhorses, adaptable to every theater and every role. From infantry support with their 105mm howitzers to tank destroyers with their 76mm guns, and even specialized flamethrowing or amphibious variants. The M4 Sherman's design allowed for continuous upgrades and modifications, making it a flexible platform that evolved with the war. This logistical superiority, the ability to project and sustain massive armored forces, crippled the Axis. While a single Tiger could devastate a column of Shermans, it couldn't be in 50 places at once. It couldn't stem the tide of hundreds of thousands of Allied troops and thousands of tanks pouring onto the continent. The Tiger was an engineering marvel, a tactical terror, but it was a drain on German resources, demanding excessive fuel, maintenance, and strategic materials. It was a luxury Germany couldn't afford. So what's the verdict? In a theoretical one-on-one duel, the Tiger I often held the advantage, particularly against early Sherman models. Its gun and armor were truly formidable. However, war is not fought in a vacuum. The M4 Sherman, though sometimes outgunned and out-armored by its more specialized German counterparts, was a strategically superior tank. Its unparalleled production numbers, its rugged reliability, its ease of maintenance, and its incredible adaptability to new roles and upgrades meant that it was always there, in vast numbers, pushing the front lines. The Sherman was the backbone of Allied armored forces, allowing them to outmaneuver, outlast, and ultimately overwhelm the enemy. The Tiger may have won many battles, but the Sherman, and the industrial might it represented, won the war. The true measure of a weapon's effectiveness isn't just its individual destructive power, but its ability to be produced, maintained, and deployed in sufficient quantities to achieve strategic objectives. And by that measure, the M4 Sherman stands as an undeniable symbol of Allied victory. Did this change your perception of the Sherman versus Tiger debate? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into World War II history, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives.